How to Recruit Captain Marvel. My name is Ashley Fletcher. This is Management 3320-22 and Human Resources Management. The job opening for Captain Marvel is one that requires dedication and perseverance in the face of adversity, as well as many inimitable skills that most people would have died attaining. A list of tasks, duties, and responsibilities for Captain Marvel are including but not limited to being on call 24 hours a day, every day until she either goes into hiding or is defeated, hopefully neither happens, being in charge of saving citizens in distress throughout the city or whichever city she's in. She's a world hero technically, so she could technically cover all of them. She's got to be able to defeat an array of villains, including but not limited to aliens from outer space, aliens from other governments, aliens inside her own realm. She had many friends throughout the comics and whatnot that turned on her or that she thought were good and aren't. She's got to be able to hide her true identity through clever disguises, or in a lot of cases it ends up being a pair of glasses, so whichever one it ends up being. She's responsible for ensuring no harm comes to civilian life, whether it should be on our planet, another planet, whichever one it happens to be at the time. She's got to be able to fly aircrafts of varying difficulty to use. This includes spacecrafts from Earth, outer spacecrafts, whichever one she happens to be needing at the moment. She must be able to wield her great powers that she developed via the absorption of the Tesseract and freak accidents. And she has to be able to maintain and handle a professional and calm demeanor in the wake of her traumatic past. We all know she's had it, and it can be hard to keep yourself together when the job is stressful. Some more optional TDRs may be having to go into different universes and realities and attempt to save the world. Sometimes it's not enough to just do it from the comfort of America. She's got to be able to cope with the occasional fatalities of loved ones, or sometimes it's frequent fatalities depending on what happens, and close friends. And then another optional one, not preferred because she has multiple colors, is looking great in blue, red, and gold. A list of knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics she may need to have. In regards to knowledge, she has a high school diploma. She never went to college because her dad sent her brother instead. She has in-depth knowledge of the space and universe. This comes from her NASA background and also her dying desire to be a part of the space travel in NASA as a kid, an astronaut. She has to know the workings of assorted aircrafts and their mechanisms. She got this through her Air Force training and having to deal with the planes and being one of the top pilots. Understanding and detailed knowledge of being outside the realm of Earth. Her whole goal was to be in outer space, an astronaut, be out of this world basically, and she achieved that, even though it was forced through being sent to Kree and the explosion and everything that ended up happening. She also needs to have a detailed understanding of the powers that come with Captain Marvel and where they came from. Some skills and abilities she has to have are the ability to fly multiple aircrafts, both domestic and alien, because we all know that she's going to have to do multiple ones. She can't just know one. It's not going to do the job. She's got to be able to be flexible and have variation. She's got to be able to use her powers, which include the ability to fly without aircraft assistance, both in the atmosphere and also in space. She's got to be able to generate the energy blast from the various body parts, usually her hands, but she can figure out how to do it elsewise. She's got to be able to control gravity and radiation, as this is one of her skills that came with her freak accident powers. And then she also possesses superhuman strength, which is outside of the powers that she gained through the Tesseract. She's also got to be able to make on-the-spot decisions to save lives. Not everything has a plan, so she's got to be able to formulate and make effective decisions in the moment. Can control a task force and accomplish goals. She's got to be able to be a leader, hence the reason she's Captain Marvel now, the leader of the Avengers. She's got to be able to lead people and make tasks happen. Tasks most of the time are saving the world, saving the city, whichever it may be. Keeping peace and international relations as best she can. Not everybody's going to agree with each other all the time. This also includes universal relations and galactic relations. She's got to have a strong control over her emotions and internal struggles because like I said, she's had a traumatic past. It's not always easy to keep it together. She's got strong physical capabilities and has to have a high level of fitness so that in the case that she does lose powers, she still has something to fall back on. Strength, smarts, skill, fitness, etc. To stay true to the comic, other optional characteristics are blue eyes, blonde hair, being 5 foot 11 inches, female, and weighing 165 pounds. Not necessary. Her core competencies are her power from the Tesseract, because unless you have the physical Tesseract, you can't wield its powers. She has it inside her DNA at this point, so she is the only person that has power from the Tesseract without having the Tesseract. Another one is also her alliance in the Avengers, the very strong group. With them and her, they basically can take on anything, hence the reason they're kind of keeping the world in check right now. And then also her Kree training. It's the equivalent of, I guess, what an American would call Navy SEAL training or Green Beret training, except for it's done in space and it's much more intense. The recruitment for this job is going to be a tiered selection process. They have to go through the pool, so they narrow it down to the selections, and then it's a variation of physical tests, knowledge tests, skills tests. Basically, you fail, you don't make it until the very top recruit prevails over the others. If people die in the process, that's fine. It's just whoever makes it through all of the tests that would happen in Captain Marvel's life. If you follow this job recruitment process, then you will have not only an easier, more effective, efficient time finding a candidate. Otherwise, you're left looking through a pool of recruits. And let's face it, 99.99999, etc% of the world could not handle this position. So it narrows you down to who you actually need. It also means you know exactly what you're looking for, so that if somebody does come in, you know exactly, like, you don't meet this requirement, this is necessary, you don't make it. And that way, you find exactly who you're looking for and who's going to fill a position effectively, efficiently, saves time, saves money, saves the world.